Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon. I'm great. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. It's good to chat with you again.
It is good. I missed you.
Likewise. So I want to talk about something today that I'm sure is on not only mine and yours and everyone at this company's mind, but everyone I think that is in the real estate, business. If they own a home, if they are looking to buy, I think we've seen some crazy times in the last couple of years, and in turn, our economy is not in the greatest place right now. So I kind of wanted to pick your brain as a real estate expert of this market ahead, what to expect from not only a buyer seller standpoint, but also from a real estate professional standpoint.
Wow. I think we need to call this episode Shift Happens because shift is happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's funny. This is probably the fourth cycle of real estate I've been through. I don't know that even industry experts, Josh, know exactly what to expect, but let's just talk about big picture if we can for a while. I think, first of all, the elephant in the room are interest rates.
Yeah.
However, interest rates were historically, unbelievably, unrealistically low for a long time. And I know no one wants to hear that in today's market, but honestly, money under 5 or 6% is reasonable. And we're at that. We're not trending anywhere crazy yet. Inflation is. Mm-hmm. Right. And interest rates will push up. The Feds have already said they will do another increase before the end of the year.
Right.
But what it means is we just have to be smart with purchasing, which moves us into what's going on in the market. Yeah. And, honestly, I hate to say the word correction. Is that a good word to say? But what we've got in this slowing down of the market, in my opinion, is because I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about what the market's actually doing, not what the media is saying, not what all the chaos, all the noise people are hearing, but what the market's actually doing. My personal opinion is it's like we've been on the interstate with the speed limit of 70 and we've been going 95.
Yeah.
Right. And we've pulled back to 65. And we feel like we've stopped.
Right.
Some people in some markets. We haven't. We're still moving. What's going to happen is inventory is going to catch up. Mm-hmm. The slowing of the market means that the depletion of inventory will catch up. Mm-hmm. I don't really know. The forecasters are not really saying a depreciation of property. I don't think that at all. What I think will happen is the buyers who have literally been chasing the car, right, will now be in the car and maybe even in the front seat, not driving. We're not shifting that much. Mm-hmm. Sellers are still in control because of inventory, but buyers are going to have a chance. Let's talk now what it means to the consumer.
Yeah.
The consumer, it means take a breath, just pause. Listen to your lender, listen to your professional realtor, have that navigator, have that guide in your pocket that's going to say, we no longer need to offer over asking price. We no longer need to make crazy concessions like waiving appraisals and waiving inspections and all of that. Let the market catch up to what's going on. Okay. And that's for buyers. For sellers, and get ready, it means things are going to sit on the market for more than 3 days. Yeah. We've got realtors coming to us going, what the heck do I do? This has been on the market for 7 days and the seller wants to know what's wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's an adjustment. It's shift happening. And it's the change. So again, take that pause. If you're a buyer or seller, and let's see where the adjustment shifts out. But more importantly, lean into the professional services of a good realtor, a good lender that can advise you on what they think about rates. When do you need to make the decision to lock? With a realtor, what do you need to do from the offer perspective?
Yeah.
For realtors, let's talk about realtors just a little while. For the realtors, we've said before, Josh, that a good market creates bad habits.
Yeah.
We're going to have to break some of those bad habits. Yeah. We're going to have to buckle down. The thing that I get excited about, and I just want to pause for a moment and say the thing I get really excited about, having lived through 4 cycles of economic cycles of real estate, this is the time for the professional to shine. I am so excited about this. And I don't want that to sound sadistic or weird or anything. What I mean by that is this is when professionals are made.
Yeah.
This is when you're going to see people rise to a whole nother level of thriving, not surviving, not trying to get in line to present an offer, but really thriving. But those who thrive are going to be the ones that buckle down.
Yeah.
And I don't mean buckle down. I mean, double the heck down, because it's going to take work. It's going to take getting back into what made you fundamentally sound, good negotiation skills, setting great expectations. So if we can pull that apart, do you have questions? I feel like I have a question.
No. Keep going. I know you're on a roll.
Well, I just feel like first things first, set the correct expectations. The shift is causing, you're going to have to reset expectations with sellers. They are not going to have multiple offers. They are not going to get way over asking price.
Right.
It's going to come back down to expect to have an inspection, expect to have an appraisal, expect for your home to have to appraise. We still have a lot of cash buyers, but we're coming back to what's real. So if you're working with sellers, set the correct expectations, have those conversations. If you're working with buyers, same thing, set the correct expectations. They no longer need to offer 20% over listing price or whatever your market has been sustaining. Just dive into data. And what I mean by that is dive into not the media. I want to be really clear about that. Dive into your MLS.
Yeah.
Take really good, sharp looks and have your broker help you. What is the average days on the market? What is the absorption rate of inventory? So that you know, okay, if we've got, 6 months of inventory, which we haven't had for years, do we have 6 days? Do we have 30 days? What does that look like? So set correct expectations, dive into data for your market. We can't stress that enough. Turn the TV off. Can I say that? Turn the TV off.
So Kathy, you brought up something that I thought was interesting. You said, and I'm paraphrasing, we are now getting back into the time when it's real, when it's realistic. I think we've been living in a time for the last couple of years where, like you said, homes have been cash offers 3 days on the market for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 above listing. And now buyers and sellers are starting to come back to reality. And so I think if we look at it from a perspective of the market is shifting, but the market was also in a crazy place in the last couple of years. So now it's just kind of settling down. Would you agree with that?
I do. And the word probably is frenzy. It was this escalating frenzy. And I think that part is settling down.
Yeah.
And, realtors are going to have to get back to having to do a true valuation of a property, a true CMA, rather than what would you like to get for your home? Because that's the market we've been in.
Yeah. So let's talk about it from the perspective of a potential first-time home buyer. Is this something that should they avoid this market? Does it require a whole new level of research? What can you, a bird's eye view, what can you give advice-wise to someone in that situation?
Absolutely do not avoid it. If you're in a position that you want to buy a home, go ahead and do that. And here's why. What's not changing is rental. Yeah. And rental prices have continued to soar. Yeah. And there's no tax break there and there's no financial benefit there. So absolutely, if you're in a position that you want to buy a home, go ahead and do that. We don't anticipate, you can look at all the data. We don't anticipate that there's going to be a depreciation of homes. That's why we've got so many cash buyers. To tell you the truth, people are getting out of the stock market and getting into real estate. Right. It's so much safer. So it's a safe purchase. First thing to do is qualify, of course, so that you know what you're qualified for and you feel good about that, so that you can go out and start looking, whether that's on the internet or whether that's with your realtor. And again, the consumer needs to make sure that they're getting good representation to make sure that they're not overpaying in what's going on in the market.
I think, Kathy, you can say bad news in such an eloquent way that it makes it sound nice. And I think you have, eased the tension of not only me, but I'm sure everyone listening to who are nervous for what's ahead. I think you see it as an opportunity more so than something to be scared or nervous about.
Absolutely. Anytime there's change, anytime there's vulnerability, there's opportunity.
Yeah.
There will be realtors who will get out of the business. A lot of the hobbyists will get out, and that's a good thing. That'll be okay. The one thing that I would be fine with declining out is the number of people in the National Association of Realtors. And I don't mean part-timers, but the hobbyists, the people that are just doing a few deals a year.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting from an investor standpoint, what that looks like. The key for the realtor, again, is we had a Waking Up to Win session yesterday about going back mid-year, especially in a shifting market, going back and looking at your business plan. If you did not do one for 2022, that's okay, because what we're advising is go back, pull it out, re-look at it, revisit it, look at what's different. Look at things like, where are you investing money for leads, and to get where, number one, where your leads coming from, have really good measurables around that. Yeah. Number two, if you're investing, make sure that you're getting good leads. We really coach to abundance, not scarcity. We want you to make money. However, from the scarcity side, go through your credit card bills as a realtor and see what things are renewing that you go, oh, I forgot I had that.
Sure.
From a tools and a resources, and then tap into what your brand has. We offer amazing tools that people can't ignore in a good hot market. In this market, adopt the tools that you're provided.
Yeah.
Engage, make sure that you're looking into your education department to figure out where your strengths and weaknesses are. The cool thing is when you look at the source of your sales and you look at where your business is coming from, then you identify the gaps.
Yeah.
So in a shifting, changing market, once they're identified, that's when superstars are made. When you really start to look in your business in a shifting market and you adjust to the changes, man, you thrive. And that's what I get excited about, is to know that the professionals that are right now a little bit worried, they need to be excited and say, I'm going to totally own this freaking business, because I'm pausing and I'm making the adjustments and the changes that I need to benefit the business.
Yeah. So it's a shift in your mindset as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because
the media, the thing that's so discouraging, and the reason I say don't listen to the media is it tends to be the sky is falling.
Right.
And the sky is not falling. I mean, just if you look at the historical rates of interest rates, we're fine. We're fine. Right. I mean, the first house I bought, my interest rate was 18%. Yeah. I could not believe they would loan me the money. Yeah. I could not believe anybody would loan us money. And they did, because I knew, well, shoot, if I can qualify at 18%, I can certainly refinance at a lower rate.
Right.
And so it is about mindset. It's about perspective. It's about saying, how do I make the opportunity that's currently in front of me the best opportunity for me?
Yeah. I mean, I think this also brings up, we as a society, we chase headlines, right? And I don't think we necessarily read all of the nitty gritty news information, whatever it is. But I'm going to use this as a plug for our podcast. You get it in this podcast. You get it between the conversation between you and I and the guests that we have. It's not just a headline. We're actually, talking about the real deal. And me just sitting here on camera under the mic, like, you are easing the tension that I have for what's ahead. So, I mean, it's honestly great.
Well, while we're going to be shameless, let me just add to that. Every Wednesday, we do our Waking Up to Win business coaching series. And we shifted it this year from our town hall to a business coaching series, because we anticipated there were going to be changes in the market. So each week, you have the opportunity at no charge, and you don't have to be a member of Realty ONE Group to take advantage of this. You can go to wakinguptowin.com and subscribe there. But we have professional coaches who are our partners, and they are Debbie DeGroat and Sherry Johnson and Katie Lance and others that give us the best advice that is current for today's market each Wednesday. So tune into that. We're going to be launching this coming Wednesday. ONE.U is going to be hosting a lead generation session. So the last Wednesday of each month will be the focus on lead gen, because that's the question. Where am I going to get business from?
Totally.
That's the biggest question with realtors right now.
Yep. Well, as always, Kathy, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. I think, we're talking about a conversation that is touchy and sensitive and can make people nervous, but you always say it so wonderfully and with such optimism, and I love it.
Well, thank you. And please, I want to encourage anyone and everyone who's listening. If you have questions, email us at learning@realtyonegroup.com, and we would love to have a conversation with you. I'll give you a call, or one of our coaches will give you a call and answer any questions you have and talk about the tools and resources that we can provide for you.
Yep.
We want you to be champions. Don't sweat it.
Yep. Well, thank you, Kathy. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
All right. We thank you for joining us today on another episode of One on One, a Realty ONE Group podcast. We are powered by One.you and ask if you have suggestions, recommendations, or questions, please email learning@realtyonegroup.com. And remember, pay close attention to the details. Listen to understand, not respond, and always be a resource, not a sales pitch.